Hi guys, and welcome to the Lowland Catchup. It's myself, Rampant FM, and today I'm joined by Sean Spedden. How you doing, Sean?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself?
Aye, pretty good. It's obviously been decent weather today, so...
Definitely caught a bit of it myself. I was down at Aberdare Beach with my daughter, and I didn't take sun cream, and for anybody who's ever seen me, I'm not really I'm a very white, shady white, like, so I think I'll be very red tomorrow morning.
Brilliant, aye. I'm pretty similar, mate. I think I was getting sunburn on the neck when I was going walking the other day, so I walked to Dunfermline and back, so...
I know, it's been the weather's been nicer than I thought. Today I thought it would be, I didn't think it would be that sunny, so I kind of rolled out of bed, got ready for it, went down and it's been absolutely scorching, so, and I'm hoping, I'm off now for a few days, so I'm hoping the weather kind of stays like this, but I don't know.
It never does when you're off, though,
No, that's where it normally goes.
So we're actually recording this pretty late. I know a lot of people have probably been checking why there's not been one this week, but we were obviously, myself and Mozza and a few other people were at the Lowland League Cup game on Sunday, so we couldn't record it on Sunday, and obviously we've been busy sort of during the week. Mozza was meant to be on today, but obviously had a bit of a family emergency, so just me and you today, but I'm sure people won't mind we're putting this out, so...
I think Mozza had said that. He said that part of the conditions to in the past to go to the game on Sunday was that he had to spend a bit of time in the evening with his wife, so he wasn't able to record. So I think that's aided a little bit into the getting away, but it meant he got to get along in the game, which is good.
Yep, definitely. We'll start with the Football Nations qualifying cup final, Spartans versus Camelon. It was 2 second half goals from David Greenhill and Adam Corbett, which saw Spartans end their season on a high, beating Camelon Juniors to lift the cup. Forester Park, the home of Trannan Juniors, was the setting for the final. Perfect playing surface from the East Lothian side, which says a lot. Obviously, they have to be congratulated, I think, for their pitch condition. Simply, this late in the season, it's good to see that. There was no sort of clear-cut chances in the first half. So at the half-time, it was 0-0. An early second-half injury saw Jack Smith replaced by 16-year-old Nicky Reid. The youngster, who started in the under-20 side this season, almost made the ultimate impact when he got to the end of Blair Atkinson's run, only to see his shot go narrowly wide. The deadlock was broken on the 65th minute. Nicky Reid forced his way into the box, where the ball broke to David Greenhill on the edge of the box, and the midfielder slammed a stunning half volley into the corner, sending the Spartans faithful into raptures. I like that. Camelon looked to find a way back into the tie and were close to 11 proceedings through Jordan Herron, but he headed past Blair Carswell's post. The miss proved to be costly, as keeper Dean Shaw could only parry Scott Maxwell's shot into the path of Adam Corbett, who headed into an unguarded net from 18 yards with 13 to go on the clock. Camelon's afternoon looked like it couldn't get any worse. Goalkeeper Dean Shaw saw red for foul and abusive language towards the standing linesman. So Spartans, champions of the Football Nation Qualifying Cup, as I mentioned, a really great way to complete the season. Commiserations to Camelon, obviously. I think you were at the Camelon game when they played Kelty. They looked like a decent outfit. Dean Shaw, obviously, unfortunately, gets sent off there. He's usually a big sort of character in goals for them. So not a great way to finish off the season in the cup final for them. But it's good to see people like Nicky Reid play. Certainly, I mean, he's kind of been a bit of a revelation towards the end of the season. Really talented young footballer, and 16-year-old. He's not the biggest of stature either, and he seems to be able to handle himself. It just shows that the young guys, the Spartans that get a chance, like Cameron Dawson and Murray Hand and people like that, just seem to be doing bits. I liked their video. I don't know if you managed to see it, Sean. The video that they done on the cup final, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was a nice touch there, and it's Spartans Twitter guy just showing again that I don't think there's anything that guy can't do. Sitting doing their Twitter, their photos. Now he's dabbling in a bit of video editing, so we might see him playing next season. Who knows?
What are your thoughts on the game, Sean? Obviously, I couldn't be there because I was at the Lowland League Cup game, but it sounded like Spartans obviously ending the season off on a high and doing pretty well by beating Camelon, a strong East of Scotland team.
Yeah, no, Spartans have had a good end to the season, I think. Obviously, their league position in a very competitive league, they managed to pick up that position at the end of the year, and then they've done really well in the cups, which has allowed the likes of, Nicky Reid was one we saw when we went and saw them playing against Kelty in the cup. This is another opportunity, as well as a few of the other under-20s, because of their success in a few of the cups.
Yep.
So I think they've had a really good season, and their under-20s we've spoke about today, them stepping up to the first team, but even just at under-20s level they've had a hugely successful season, which bodes well for Spartans moving forward, because they're a team that they will go out and they will get players, but they're an academy and they're quite proud of that, and they like to bring players through, and looks quite bright for them moving forward with some of these guys coming through. As for the game itself, I think Camelon seem to have done. I've seen them a couple of times this year. I went through and watched them in Falkirk to watch them. I've been so many places I didn't even care where half of them are this season, and then I saw them against Kelty, and they're an impressive side, and it sounds like they put up a fight. They've gone there, and yeah, they did get beat by the two, but it seems like they had chances and they didn't really make it easy for Spartans. So it seems like a really good game, but it's good to see one of the Lowland League sides. We're going to back them a little bit more, I think, and it's good to see them do well and pick up the trophy at the end of the year.
Absolutely, and obviously there was a bit of a running joke between Gary, myself and you. Obviously I spoke about how I've kind of grown a bit of an admiration for Spartans this season, especially with the young guys coming on, but I think they're going to be back next season challenging. I think in terms of the league, it's not going to be easy. It's certainly Kelty, who we'll probably talk about soon, and then Shire, who we'll get into against BSC, but it's going to be very interesting next season with the top teams, I think.
No, absolutely.
So getting into the Lowland League Cup, BSC Glasgow versus East Stirlingshire. We did get a bit late. I was there with Rory and Taylor, and Mozza was there as well. I bumped into him. It was played at East Peffermill, obviously the home of fellow Lowland League team Edinburgh University. As I say, I think we were about 10-15 minutes late, but from what I saw of the first half, didn't miss any of the goals of that, but it looked like BSC were on the ascendancy. They did take the lead on the 32nd minute. Cammy Ballantyne puts it away, firing low beyond Jamie Barclay. It was a really tidy finish, actually. And just before half-time, Martin Green puts it away after Tamore's shot is deflected off the defender. So it looked really comfortable for BSC from the first half, from what I saw. Second half, Shire sort of came out and done fantastically well to sort of change the way the game was going. It was a goal in the 55th minute. It was a wild strike. It took a bit of a deflection off a BSC player. Didn't really catch who it was, but it looked into the goal. Shire back into the game, and 3 minutes later, Ben Quigley is sent off for BSC after a last man challenge. We had a bit of a debate, all the guys around us. There was a few Kelty boys there as well, watching the game. I don't think they'll mind me saying, but we obviously was Kelty in the morning, and then I sort of made this game, so a few of the other boys decided to jump along. But I didn't think it was a sending off because of the whole change in the rule. He was last man, but I don't think it was a clear-cut goal chance, so I think Ben was a wee bit harsh. Some other people saw it as a sending off. I can't remember what Mozza said. I think he saw it as a sending off, which was a bit weird coming from our BSC fans. But either way, they went down to 10 men. It kind of died down a wee bit, Shire. I think BSC sort of done well with 10 men. The game, it just sort of died out a wee bit. It looked like Shire were sort of, it wasn't going to be their day sort of thing. The gaffer did come on in the 81st minute, replacing David McGawkey. Obviously, Dell, 2 minutes later, he put on this really rough challenge against Declan Hughes and got booked. 2 minutes being on the pitch. Obviously, a bit typical of the gaffer there, but it is what it is. Shire did have a massive chance right at the end of the game. Andy Rogers, he blasts a header wide just from a corner, but it was so close. I think it might even touch the post if I remember right. But really, I think BSC deserved winners. obviously Paolo, Martin Green, loved every minute of it. I think we say a lot about BSC, mainly because, well, I certainly do, obviously, because of Mozza. He's a fan of BSC, kind of give him a wee bit of stick here and there, but for the short time they've been in existence as a club, their trophy cabinet is certainly filling up. They're streetwise as a team, they've got a lot of characters in there. I thought Martin Green obviously had a really good game. Tamor, Ross Smith I thought was pretty decent. Guys that are, that will do well for them. Yeah, as I say, streetwise, physical football. It was their best ever league finish. They were top scorers in the league by one, I think, from East Kilbride. Fantastic way for Swifty and the lads to finish off the season, really.
Yeah, no, they've BSC have had an outstanding season. I'm sure they've gone in with a bit of ambition at the beginning of the year, but they've certainly exceeded mine and a lot more the neutrals, and they've probably exceeded their own a little bit. But I think a little bit of credit to Stirlingshire as well, because BSC have been, outside the East Kilbride, they have been that dominant team in the Lowland League. They had that run of games unbeaten, with been about 18-19 games, which is impressive, especially when we refer to this league and how competitive it is every single week. We talk about how competitive it is. And yeah, it looked like, unfortunately I had to work, and I was only working 5 minutes down the road as well, frustratingly, but it was a busy day and I didn't get along to see it, but I was following what was happening, and it seemed at one point like East Stirlingshire might do what they've done quite a lot this season and come back from being down. And I don't know, I wasn't there, so you'll be able to shed more light on it, but I know that sometimes when teams go down to 10 men, they can find that it somehow manages to give them an extra gear and they're able to up it a level. And I don't know if it was detrimental to East Stirlingshire, because they seem to have the momentum, and then when BSC have gone down to 10 men, they seem to have pulled together and stopped East Stirlingshire from performing another miraculous comeback. And yeah, it's a shame for Andy Rogers there at the end not to grab an equaliser and give you another extra time and potentially penalties game this season.
Yeah, there's been a few in cup games that I've been to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it sounds like it was a cracking game. I really wanted to go to this one because they're two teams that, they're just really fun to watch. I think BSC, they're so dominant, and East Stirlingshire, it's always just an exciting team to watch. So no, like you say, excellent season for BSC, another trophy in their cabinet, and East Stirlingshire, they can be proud of the efforts on the day. So
absolutely. And just in terms of the team, I think they were missing a couple of guys. Fraser Neve was playing at left back, and obviously Danny Ash, who actually I spoke to a few hours before the game because he was at Kelty, but he was injured, so they were missing their usual right back. But in terms of Shire, I don't think they can be, I don't think they can be too disheartened. Obviously Dell's came in and Andy's came in and done a fantastic job leading them to a cup final, and especially in the league. 2019 we've talked about it, how well they've done. They've brought in guys like Nicky Lowe and Eddie Malone for next season, so they're certainly going to be one of the teams that are up there. In terms of their fan base as well, I'm sure that'll keep the boys going in an excellent facility like Falkirk.
How was the East Stirlingshire support for the game? Because I know that their away support can be fantastic, so for a cup final it must have been interesting. It
was. I don't know if you saw the picture, Taylor, with the guy in the panda hat. It was it was a fantastic support, in fairness. Definitely, even away, I think I wouldn't say they're quiet at home, but I think the Shire fans are probably the best away fans in the league. In terms of noise, Mad Bill, I think, who we all know, the famous Shire fan we call him on this, but we certainly heard him on Sunday, but they were just unlucky. I think on a different day it could have went either way, but as I say, I think BSC deserved their success, but I think if it went either way, Shire would have been happy with the cup win as well, but it wasn't to be their day, I think.
No, absolutely.
Right, moving on. As I said, on Sunday morning, just before the Lowland League Cup game, I was at Kelty, obviously speaking to some of their new signings. We'll have a wee listen to the thoughts of the gaffer and some of the guys I spoke to at the moment. Right, Barry, obviously you're joined by some of your new signings for the 2019-2020 season. How happy are you to have them on board?
Yeah, it's been a lot of hard work, but no, I'm delighted they were the guys that I set out to try and get December, January time, and it's took a few months to get it over the line, but no, delighted with them, looking forward to working with them, because I think they bring real quality, but also they've got a good mentality which I was desperate to get in.
Obviously there's guys like Dylan Easton who you've worked with before. Does it help having a relationship with a player previously when you're bringing them into a club?
Yeah, it helps. There's a couple. There's Dylan and Scott Linton who I've worked with previously. I know what type of characters they are and what good players as well. Obviously it helps, but just I'm delighted to get them. It's been a lot of hard work, as I said. The club have been great and they've been patient, so have I, which is something that I find hard at times, but just to get all the players in that we initially went to try and get, to bring them in has ended up a good bit of business for us.
The Lowland League's obviously going to be more challenging next season with East Kilbride not going up and obviously Berwick Rangers coming down.
Yep.
Does the signings that you've made obviously show your intentions that you want to be, the top team in the Lowland League next season? Yeah,
listen, if I'm honest, I thought the boys done ever so well last year to achieve third spot. But when you come up against the top teams like East Kilbride, they had a lot of quality, and that's something that we need to try and get to that sort of level. And bringing these guys in, hopefully that'll get us there. We've got one aim next year, and that's to try and win the league. I'm not going to beat about the bush. That's what we're going to try and do. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but with the players that I've brought in and the quality that I've brought in, if we put the hard work in, then I think it's achievable.
Right, Murray, obviously we're here introducing the new strip and the new signings. How are you looking forward to next season, obviously?
I think it'll be a new challenge for us. I think obviously with some boys leaving, new boys coming in, I think the club are trying to push in the right direction. Obviously it's a shame to lose the boys that were here last year, but like the boys are saying, the clubs need to keep moving forward, so it's exciting, but I think we should have a good push next year and hopefully get some trophies.
Overall, I think the season really went well because the objective obviously was top 4 and you've got third. Do you see yourself pushing on next season, obviously, to try and get that top spot in the Lowland League?
I think at the start of the season last year we said top 4, but I think at Christmas, we're top of the league and stuff like that. I think we were a bit disappointed with the way we finished, but next year I think we should be really pushing to win this league.
Ross, welcome to Kelty. You're obviously familiar with the Lowland League, having played for Whitehill.
Yep.
You were in obviously the first team until I think Bobo Grant came.
Aye, he came in.
Where do you see yourself obviously in the Kelty team in terms of your being a goalkeeper and stuff?
Well, I can understand there's only one that can play, but I'm in here to just fight for my position. If it says that I'm going to start, fair enough, but if not, I'm happy sitting, learning, and just ultimately it's just trying to get better this year, I think, and obviously just have a successful season.
Obviously Whitehill in the Lowland League have seen they never obviously had the greatest season. What's the feeling obviously coming from a team that in fairness I think was struggling to like a team that's going to be fighting for obviously maybe the league title next season?
It was a total different mindset as well. I think for Whitehill it was hard to get through mentally, especially when you go down early in games. You know that you're going to be struggling. It was nothing against them, but we are up against it every single week. So I think it's just going to be a total change. You're coming in here, expectations are going to be really high. So it's just something to look forward to.
And just finally, obviously, what did you know about Kelty obviously before you sort of signed for us?
Oh, well, I've played here a few times, and obviously a massive club, massive name, got a good fan base in that, and you just kind of look around, and I think it's a place you want to be at and play your football.
Firstly, Danny, obviously welcome to Kelty.
Delighted to be here. Right.
You know the league fairly well, obviously. Been Shire this season. How did the move sort of come about that you came to Kelty?
I spoke to, made contact with Dean and Barry kind of late February, and came up and met the guys and had a look about, and fantastic facility, clubs going places, good following, so something really wanted to be a part of, and it was something I kind of struggled to say no to, really. Looking forward to the next couple of years, and we'll see where the club can go.
Obviously next season the Lowland League is going to be far more challenging than it has been previously. Shire, obviously your previous team, obviously getting in guys like Eddie Malone, but also East Kilbride obviously never made it to the League 2, and Berwick Rangers coming down. So how do you see the sort of campaign going next season?
It's going to be really competitive. I think probably over the next couple of seasons, particularly with the East of Scotland set up as well, we're going to see the Lowland League being one of the most competitive leagues in the country. Like you see East Kilbride not getting through the playoff, Berwick coming down, and then you've got the likes of Bonnyrigg and stuff. They'll be looking to come into the setup over the next season or two as well, so I think you're going to find 15, 16 really good quality teams that'll be competing, looking to challenge, and hopefully make that jump up to League 2.
And finally, obviously you play right back or on the right defence. Is that where you see yourself in the Kelty team?
Predominantly at full back. Spoke to Barry as well. He's looking for, he's looking for some guys that, if he's got to change it up through a game or whatnot, can slot in elsewhere. Had spells at left back, centre half, centre mid. So, flexible, happy to come and go. It's about the team first and foremost. So.
Firstly, welcome to Kelty. You both obviously came from Forth and Athletic.
Yep.
What was the sort of incentive to come to Kelty in the Lowland League?
Well, for me, I've obviously worked with the gaffer before, so when he made the phone call and spoke to me, it was sort of a no-brainer. Obviously my contract was up at the end of the season before, it was a big decision, obviously, to up and down, but obviously speaking with the gaffer and Dean going forward and stuff, where the club's going, it's a no-brainer.
What about you, Tom?
For myself, it's probably pretty similar in a sense of that my contract was up, the plans that this club's got going forward, and when the gaffer had told me the players that were coming in alongside me, I was probably taken aback a wee bit with the players that had agreed to sign with the club, and probably within a couple of days I'd made a decision to sign for Kelty.
Right. Obviously, Dylan, you mentioned that you worked with the gaffer before. When you were at Clyde, you obviously played that sort of playmaker role. Do you see a similar role, obviously, at Kelty next season?
Yeah, I think so. Well, when speaking to him, he sort of said that's sort of the role he's going to be playing with. So when obviously playing with him at Clyde, I got a bit unlucky. 6-7 games into the season, I done my ECL, so but it was going well. And as I said when I spoke to him on the phone, he was sort of giving that sort of role again, so I'm looking forward to it, can't wait to get started.
And Thomas, for yourself, obviously, I think at the start of your career you were obviously more of an attacking player, but you sort of dropped down to midfield.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself fitting into the Kelty
Probably
team?
just back into that midfield. Probably where I've had the most joy within my career. As you say, I started as a striker. I did enjoy it, but when I went into midfield, I've probably seen a lot more of the ball, which suited me more than it did as a striker, running channels. So probably I'm behind Dylan. Played there before with Dylan at Elgin. I know he never played in the kind of playmaker role last season, but he played left, so I've always kind of played behind him, it suits me as well, because you've got somebody like Dylan that's always wanting the ball, then it's an easy job for me.
And just in general, obviously, about the Lowland League, how much did you know about the league and stuff just coming in before obviously signing for Kelty?
I know a bit about it, but not too much. I'm an Edinburgh boy, so I used to go down and watch Spartans a lot, so I know a few boys that played for Spartans and stuff, but I never took too much to it, so but I'm looking forward to getting started.
No, similar. I only know a few of the boys. I know a couple of boys that have signed in the league this year, and I know it's going to be a tough league, especially with other teams that are signing good players as well. So no, I'm looking forward to it, as Dylan probably is as well, and can't wait to get started.
I'm here with Nathan Austin. Also, I want to welcome you to Kelty.
Thanks very much.
what was the incentive? Obviously, you're playing for Inverness, Cali Thistle this season, but what was the incentive to obviously come to Kelty in the Lowland League?
I think I had a long, hard think about it. Inverness offered me a new deal, but I'm at this stage in my career. I want to play and enjoy football again, and the gaffer offered me that opportunity, and it was hard to turn down. I had a lot of offers, but once you get the enthusiasm and you're wanted that much, it's hard to say no to.
Yep, absolutely. And obviously you're kind of known as a sort of goal threat. Is that where you see yourself in the Kelty team next season?
Yeah, hopefully that's if I get myself right fit, I can score goals, and hopefully we can challenge for the league and hopefully get Kelty where they want to be. So that's my aim, and I think that's the club's aim as well.
And as for the Lowland League, how much did you know about the league before you obviously signed for Kelty?
Well, I'm quite local. I'm from Lowland, so I've known for Kelty for years, and it was a big junior team, and then obviously once they went into the Lowland League, I heard of the ambitions to try and get into the league. So I know a few boys playing in the Lowland League, and I've studied it a little bit, and I know a few of the teams. So it's going to be a really tough league next season, and just hopefully we could get right top and push on.
Obviously, I want to thank everyone that spoke to us. There was quite a lot of them. I don't know if you managed to sort of catch any of the interviews, Sean.
Yeah, I did. I listened to a couple of them. A fairly busy week, to be honest. I hold my hands up and say I didn't even manage to catch the Lowland League Catchup last week. I was that busy. But I've listened to a couple of them, and you knew something was coming, but I think it's kind of exceeding my expectations a little bit, and they've certainly shown a bit of intention here with the 6 of them that they've signed: Dylan Easton, Thomas Riley, Austin, Jordan, Linton and Danny Ash. That's right, yeah, that's 6.
Yep.
Yeah, that's certainly they've shown a bit of intention, and to come out with them all in a oneer as well. I've started listening through them, and it sounds like it's going to be good. How did you find it? Getting down there in the morning.
Yeah, the boys were great. Obviously, I think there was a few of them. Obviously, I know Danny Ash, obviously at Shire. He was, I think, delighted to be at Kelty. I think he's probably going to be much needed in terms of I think right back was a bit of a tricky one for Kelty this season. So he'll be there, sort of being there quite solid. Scott Linton, another guy who can pretty much play left back, left mid, centre mid if they needed. Thomas Riley and Dylan Easton, obviously fantastic signings for this league. Obviously Dylan and Scott, Barry knows them from Clyde. So Nathan Austin, I think, was the one that I think got most people's attention, obviously, because he was in the Championship with Inverness Cali this season. There was a lot of comments made about obviously the money factor. In fairness, I think Kelty have had it all week. Obviously, I had my opinion on it. I'm kind of old school that we don't tend to talk about financial things on the catch-up, but obviously I think it has to be addressed. It's known that Kelty have a backer. It really is. They've got good support, they've got good finances, but the whole sustainable argument, I think it's not fair because they're building. You know this yourself, Sean. They're building for the future with the stands, the social clubs. They've got a really good attendance for the Lowland League. A lot of people are that doesn't pay Nathan Austin's wages. It's a ridiculous point because at the end of the day, there is investors in Kelty, as I've mentioned. We know that, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to question anyone about what they choose to invest in or what they do with their money. Basically, if they're, I think there's going to be investors in East Stirlingshire this season. I don't think. They've got guys in like Nicky Lowe. I don't think anyone's asking East Stirlingshire, how much Nicky Lowe's on.
No, it's a fair point, but it's one of those opinions, and I think everybody's got the right to their opinion, and there will be some people who are going to question where the money's coming from and how sustainable it is. For me, and being around the club, obviously I don't help them and get involved with the team as much as yourself, but I do know some of the guys down there, and I know that they're not daft. They're not going to do anything silly. I think for a sustainability point of view, for Kelty, and the way that I look at it is that not necessarily next season, but they are looking, to move up the leagues and enter the SPFL. So I think for the sustainability part, they'll obviously not be able to sustain this at Lowland League level for many years. I think that's a given, but in the short term, I think they're showing intention. They want to move up, and we've seen it with East Kilbride, we've seen it with Cove, that you need the SPFL calibre players to get into SPFL. So I think they're going the right way around it, but they're going to need to have a good season next year and build on their third place this year. One thing I did realise, I think it was the first thing I noticed before I even read through the interviews, Thomas Riley was wearing white shorts. That really bugged me. Like, what happened? Did you ask?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, Sean? Thomas actually did mention it. He actually said I'm wearing the wrong shorts. We were hoping that no one would pick up on it, but yeah.
Well, it was the first thing I noticed, and I was like, it was bugging my OCD. I actually wanted to open up paint and colour them in for him and send them back, but I think that was the first thing that stood out to me, and it wound me up something rotten for a wee while.
Well, I did ask them, what were the intentions of coming to Kelty, but there was a few things I didn't know. Obviously, Thomas and Dylan weren't offered new deals at Forfar. Obviously, Dylan knows the gaffer, and Thomas, I think, from what I got, he obviously really likes to play with Dylan. Nathan Austin, he's local to, he's only in Leaving, so I mean, it would make sense to come to a team like Kelty, or and rather than travelling up to the Highlands and stuff. But people have opinions. But I think we're at the stage now where the Lowland is such a competitive league. It doesn't surprise me that we're getting people like Nathan Austin, Nicky Lowe at Shire, Eddie Malone, these sort of calibre of players coming to the Lowland League, because it says a lot more about the league than it does about a club. People actually are paying attention to the Lowland League, and that's what I like about it, basically.
We'll speak about them a bit later on, but with Berwick coming down, they obviously get a parachute payment that you hear a lot about as well, and you've got to be able to compete with that, because they're obviously going to bring in some players next year as well to compete in the Lowland League. So we've said about obviously the Shire's investment, Kelty's investment, East Kilbride, I think, because we were so impressed with them through the season, we kind of forgot that they'd be here next season, but they'll be back again. If you want to compete in this league, it's certainly one where there's going to need to be a bit of investment.
Absolutely. And just on the sustainable thing, obviously, I know that's the word that gets used about Kelty, but I think it's well known that the club don't have any debts either. So that's why I'm less concerned about the money factor that people bring up as well. At the end of the day, clubs can pay their players what they want. It's not really up to us to decide. I certainly wouldn't be asking anyone how much to get paid, because again, as I mentioned, I'm a bit more old school. I think that's a wee bit personal, really.
No, absolutely. And do you know what, it's Kelty's club to run the way they want to run it, and we'll see over time.
Yeah.
I think you just look at some other examples of teams that have struggled financially, that people naturally gravitate towards making, assuming the worst. It's maybe even just a human instinct, but we'll find out over the next year or two whether Kelty have made the right moves we invest in or not, I suppose.
It's certainly going to be a massive season for Barry Ferguson. We've not really talked too much about Barry. I think when he first came in, obviously really great to have a massive name like Barry a part of the league. Obviously it had attention for Kelty, positive and negative, obviously with the Rangers aspect, if you will. Nothing really to do with the league or him as a person. I think the Clyde comparisons are a wee bit unfair. Certainly I've spoken to you about it and that, but I want to see how he does this season. I think he's certainly got the players there. He's certainly brought in the players there to really make a go of it. Had he not had the situation he had at Clyde, I think people would be judging him a wee bit differently. Obviously, we know that the change the change of play has happened with Tam Courts when before he left or resigned rather. He had Kelty playing fantastically. Barry's kind of he's definitely changed the way they play. But I'll wait and see how it works. I'm really intrigued to see how it's going to work next season. It's certainly going to be exciting to see what Kelty do, as well as some of the other top teams in the Lowland League.
Absolutely. He's he came from Clyde and had a bit of a reputation, and first Barry Ferguson's a big name, so it's always going to come with a bit of, there's always going to be a bit of criticism and a little bit of fishing whenever there's a big name kicking about there. But yeah, it came with this stigma of having a revolving door at Clyde. Perhaps made some changes at Kelty at the beginning, which maybe built on that a little bit. But now these are his players. He's had this break between the seasons or even to be honest, towards the end of last season, that these will have been getting thought about and names have been getting thrown about. These are his players he's brought in. He's obviously got some connections to a couple of them. Yeah, next season it's a big season for not just Kelty but for Barry Ferguson as well, to sort of silence the critics a little bit. But that's for him to do, him and the players. So it's going to be a big year for them.
And on the word of managers, a bit of a shock from Gala Fairydean. They obviously sacked Dean Shanks. I know, I'm not too sure about yourself, how much you know, Sean, but certainly I rated him. Certainly Moza rated him. I think I'm alright to speak for his behalf, really. I think he had a really good season at Gala. I think that was the joint highest finish, if I remember right.
Not even taking away their high finish versus their other seasons, the Lowland League was a competitive league last year, and I think for them to finish 8th, the players did their part, but the manager deserves some credit in that. And I think the biggest thing with Dean Shanks going is nobody saw it coming. I think everybody thought, I don't know if you could sit there. We're not obviously on Gala's board of directors, but I don't know how you could sit there and be disappointed with how they finished up last season. They had some really good results throughout the season. I think they did well in the Scottish Cup, if I remember right.
Yeah, they were unlucky.
Yeah, and they I think he did a really good job. But you know what, that's their decision to make, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the new gaffer can do next year, and to see why he's been brought in. He'll be feeling a bit of pressure, no doubt, but yeah, it was just a surprise, wasn't it?
Well, that was the worry for me, because they obviously it's been announced not by. I don't want to criticise Gala because I really like Gala, but most of the news coming from Gala has been going through the Border Telegraph. I think David Knox, who we know. They've announced the appointment of Neil Hastings, former Livy. I think he was at Berwick Rangers, the assistant manager. The 27-year-old, he'll be joined in the dugout by former Livingston colleague Eddie Mangan. I wish them well. Don't get me wrong, but I think with Dean, I would have said he was in a better position than Neil and Eddie, in fairness, to take Gala forward. That's why it's been a bit of a shock, because Dean's hard work in that club, and he knows a lot about the Lowland League, and he's done some fantastic work. I mean, we mentioned obviously they've equalled this, that and the next thing in terms of records, and they've went further in terms of the Scottish Cup and stuff, but the issue there, I think, is, they had a lot of injuries as well, so Dean's done fantastically well. I just don't know if Neil's going to. We'll have to wait and see, but to me, in another competitive league next season, I don't see if they're going to. I don't know if they'll push more than maybe 8th or 7th, or that's my worry. Why replace a guy that's quite settled at Gala, done a fantastic job? It's almost a worrying thing for Gala fans, because it's like almost taking away the progress that Dean's made there. I might be speaking too negatively about it, but it's just the way I see it. I just don't know if Neil, because I think I told you and Derek, I think it's okay to say now, but I obviously thought they were going to bring in the likes of maybe Johnny Harvey, who was the former Berwick manager, and that would have been I think a good signing on or whatever, a manager at least that's had the experience. But they obviously brought in his number 2 at Berwick, Neil Hastings. So Don't know, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know what your opinions are.
Other than the fact that what I've already said about the fact that Dean, I think he did a good job with the team, and there seemed to have been progress. They'd obviously brought in a few players towards the end of the year, and I don't know if it's just piling a little bit of pressure onto the new manager, because he's got some big shoes to fill, and he's got to come in here, and the league's going to be more competitive next season, and the board aren't going to have brought him in thinking, right, we brought you in here, we didn't expect you to do as well as last year. They'll be expecting to move forward, and a league that's potentially going to be even more competitive. I mean, the Bonnie Rig Rose thing is still up in the air. Yeah, and we'll certainly talk about that. And that's still up in the air a little bit at the moment. And if they come up, that's another team that you'd expect are going to be there or thereabouts. East Kilbride are staying down, and there's the addition of Berwick, which again we'll speak to. The league's going to get more competitive, and when you look at Berwick and potentially Bonnie Rig going up there with everybody right down to Stirlingshire, Cumbernauld, who are doing like 6th and 7th in the league, how many of those teams are Gala going to be able to leapfrog next year? I think it's piling a lot of pressure on the new gaff.
There is another issue, I think I might have mentioned it, but there is another issue. Most of the actual talk from the club has been coming from like the Border Telegraph. Neil did say, I am under no illusions of how competitive the Lowland League is going to be this year, especially when you look at some of the signings that other clubs have already made. The appointment was welcomed by Gala Fairydean Rovers Ambassador of Football John Collins, who knows Neil from his time at Livingston. An official statement from Fairydean Rovers was issued to the Border Telegraph last week. It read, the club would like to thank Dean and his management team for all their hard work over the course of last season and wish them all the very best for the future. Under Dean's management, Gala Fairydean Rovers finished a respectful 8th position in the highly competitive Lowland League and were extremely unfortunate to part from the Scottish Cup at the third round stage. But in order to compete at the highest level, a difficult decision has been made to opt for a change of direction for season 2019-2020. The club hope to be in a position to announce a new manager as soon as possible. Obviously, they've now announced that it's going to be Neil Hastings taking them forward. But I just think they've, again, not to criticise the club too much, but this should have been done much better. Like, I had to really look for this statement, thanking Dean and stuff, and I don't think that's any way to treat a guy that's had so much hard work into your club. That should have been on their social media or something, saying, look, thanks for, we want to go into a different direction sort of thing, and we want to... That's fair enough if the new chairman wants to do that. It's obvious that he does. I think it's interesting there's a bit of a link between John Collins and Neil Hastings. Not reading too much into it, it's just fact. But they should have done it better. I expected a wee bit better from Gala and the way they done things, rather than... and that's no disrespect to likes of Debbie, who does fantastic work. It's obviously coming up from the the higher ups at the club to do it this way, but that should have been on social media, I think, thanking Dean for his efforts. Right, we're going to be doing we're looking to do something different, basically, you know what I mean?
All the best, obviously, to Dean. Hopefully he lands on his feet, and hopefully Neil can pick up the reins where Dean's left off, and maybe get back up the board of directors who were given a bit of stick to, and show them that they maybe did make the right decision. We'll have to wait until next season to find out, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll certainly have to wait and see, but yeah, certainly repeat them sentiments. I hope Dean, I think any team looking for a manager, I think Dean Shanks should be high on the list, because I think he's done a fantastic job at Gala. I've maybe ranted a wee bit too much in his favour, obviously, but we don't do this to criticise anyone, but I just think he deserved a wee bit more credit from the club. But again, I'm not blaming people behind their social media that, because it's obviously coming from higher up. Another manager whose future is a wee bit uncertain, Stuart Malcolm at East Kilbride. They obviously have the cup final on Sunday. He's been a bit quiet, surrounding his future and stuff. Again, I think it would be I'm kind of expecting him to leave, which I think is going to be a shocker for me. I mean, I really like Stuart. We obviously spoke to him a few times this season, and I think he's done a fantastic job. You can say what you want about East Kilbride, yeah, fair enough, they had the team there, but they weren't top of the league when Stuart came in, and he lost his first game against Civil Service Strollers, his first match, so it could have went downhill. I think Stuart's done a fantastic job there. Fair enough, he didn't get them promotion. We know that's hard because of how good Cove Rangers were. I would feel bad if he left East Kilbride, but again, it's another one. It's above everyone's head, I think. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one as well. I just hope that East Kilbride make the right decision. Hopefully he can stay on and we can have a lot more conversations with Malky next season.
No, absolutely. Hopefully we can get along to the game on Sunday. We might be able to catch him there as well. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And I suppose for East Kilbride, they've got, like you say, this cup final they need to get out of the way, and then they're going to have to sit down and come up with plans. I'm sure they already have, but how they move the club forward, and moving a club forward from winning all but 2 games last season, it's a difficult task for anyone. But I'm like yourself. I'm hoping that Stuart can fit into those plans. If not, same as Dean, I think he's somebody who'll land somewhere else and he would do a fantastic job for another team. It's not like East Kilbride's the be all and end all of Stuart Malcolm, and likewise Stuart Malcolm's not the be all and end all of East Kilbride. But fingers crossed that they can work it out where he's, like you say, he's done a fantastic job. You can tell the players have a lot of respect for him, and Cove were in it. They were a tremendous team. It was a tough team for any manager to take their team against, I think.
Absolutely. So we'll move on to Whitehill Bonnyrigg. Obviously, sort of alluded to it earlier, Sean. Well, I rewrote the Wikipedia. If people probably know, I do the Lowland League clubs Wikipedias and the Wikipedia stuff because I'm such a geek. No, it's just easy to keep. I like information to be correct, so I've put Whitehill as still being in the Lowland League for next season because that's the official. What's been said, that's Bonnyrigg have tried to appeal the SFA licence decision. The SFA have not went for it, so there's still things to be done on the Bonnyrigg end. But as it stands, Whitehill Welfare are going to be in the Lowland League next season.
I really like Whitehill. I went to Rosewell a couple of times last season, so this isn't anything against Whitehill, and they've got an incredible history within the Lowland League in the East of Scotland. But do you know what? If Whitehill were sitting there with a set of floodlights, even though I don't agree with it for the Bonnyrigg side, I'd kind of see it. But you're talking about leaving a team that doesn't have floodlights, and am I correct in thinking they don't have any immediate plans to get floodlights?
To be honest with you, Sean, I really don't know, but as far as I'm aware, I've not seen any plans as such, but I'm sure they've got a set period by the SFA to basically correct the floodlight situation. But I mean, it's still one of those ones where it's like, come on, that's not on.
Come the start of next season, Bonnyrigg are going to be a team with a set of floodlights, and Whitehill, by the looks of it, they aren't. And then for somebody who comes over and just looks at this league as a complete neutral and ask why are Whitehill in the league and Bonnyrigg aren't, and at the start of next season we're going to say because they floodlights, and Bonnyrigg will be sitting there with a set of floodlights and Whitehill won't. It's
embarrassing.
You just love to. It's absolutely. That's the perfect word for it. You just love to be able to, know what's going on in the head, in the minds of some people, when they're having these discussions. But I've said earlier on in this pod that you hope that Gala made the right decision. We've talked about not knowing their reasons for making decisions. Same with Kelty with the finance. We're not. We're not privy to that kind of information, so you never know, even the critics of each situation. But anybody can see the SFA, they're bonkers. Like, I have no idea what is going on.
So finally, we'll speak about the other team that's added to the league, obviously, Berwick Rangers. Welcome addition, I think, certainly. A team with a lot of history, certainly as a league team. Kind of similar to Shire when they came down to the Lowland League. A few hundred people obviously turning up to games. I'm looking forward to the away days at Berwick because probably similar to a lot of people, obviously the caravan sites at Berwick. That's going to be. I think that's what I'll do. Berwick away, full weekend at a caravan site, get to the game, have a full-on weekend sesh at Berwick. That sounds like an idea to me. So definitely welcome addition to the league, Berwick Rangers, I think.
No, absolutely. It's, I think I like the little side stories that go on with any team or any upcoming game, and I like the fact that we've got a second team to join the Shire, so there's a wee bit of competitive edge there. You watch how they performed last year in SPFL 2, and also you look at the game against Cove. I don't think people are going to be rating them hugely just now, but Cove did similar to East Kilbride, and we know how good East Kilbride are. So the fact that Cove handled them pretty easily over the 2 legs, I don't think that takes anything away from Berwick. I think they're going to come in and they're going to be a really competitive side, and they're going to have that experience. They've maybe not got the biggest set of fans down at Shire, but they've definitely got the noisiest, and I think they attribute that to the years they've been in the SPFL, where you get teams with songs and chants, and it's going to be good to get another team, hopefully, that have got a mad bill kicking about up and down the sidelines. I think, it's going to be good. And obviously everything that goes along with the only English-based team, that were in the SPFL, they'll be wanting to get back up there. I think it's a very welcome addition to the league for next season, and I'm looking forward to. I don't know if I'll get a caravan, but I'm certainly looking forward to going down to Berwick for the day.
Oh yeah, no, me and Derek obviously spoke about it. I think that's the plan. Maybe take the wee man, but no, definitely. I think obviously they've got the added experience of guys like Ian Little, who was at Whitehill. Obviously, he knows the league quite well. I'm not sure if they've kept Callum Adamson, who was at Hill of Beef, but yeah, definitely a welcome addition. Obviously, we've had a few Berwick followers. Obviously, this might be their first time listening. I don't really know too much about Berwick, at the moment, but certainly next season there'll be another one that, we'll be looking into and hopefully build up a decent relationship with. I'm not going to lie, I did criticise Dom Gala or whatever because of his his thing against Kelty. I thought was a wee bit crass, but at the end of the day, it's just an opinion. But I hope. Hopefully that's not burnt any bridges with Berwick. So
No, I'm sure it won't have. It's definitely going to make for. I don't want to build it up too much. It's going to end up being disappointing, but for next season, I think it's going to be tremendous.
Yeah, certainly, and some of the pre-season fixtures as well. Gala have, they're going to play Celtic. The biggest one for me, I think, that tournament that Kelty have got on. I think Pennycook and who was it, Genefield, and that are coming down. I can't remember the other team, but yeah, Hill of Beef, Kears Park on a Tuesday night. Definitely, that's going to be an interesting game.
Not as a neutral, as purely as a Kelty Hearts fan. That's one that, pre-season wise, I think looks incredible. I like the look of some of these Stirlingshire's fixtures. It's a bit disappointing to see one of the West Yorkshire teams pull out at short notice from a friendly fixture, but it's definitely, it's quite nice to see the team are going to go down south, and they're going to play a couple of games in West Yorkshire as well, which is definitely interesting. I've got some family down there, so I don't know, I might nip down and watch one of those. The tournament, any sort of team that are doing a wee tournament is going to be interested. Obviously Gala playing the Celtic 11, and Spartans are playing the Liverpool 11, so there's a couple of some ones, and a lot of the teams haven't announced their pre-season schedules in full yet, so that's just around the corner as well. So I think we're very lucky.
Mentioned the one on Sunday. Could be Stuart Malcolm's last game in charge, unfortunately. East Kilbride versus Bonnyrigg Rose, a cracker of a game. 2:00 at Megatland, the home of Tynecastle. We've been there obviously with the under-20s previously, Sean. South Challenge Cup final, how do you see that one going? We've obviously seen East Kilbride a lot, or certainly I have, and Bonnyrigg, we'll obviously rate them, so should be a cracker of a match.
Well, yeah, what a way to end the season. It's Lowland League champs versus the East of Scotland champs, and I think it'll be closer than a lot of people might think, or the neutral might think, if you're just looking at it on paper. But I think East Kilbride should be able to go out, and it's been a frustrating few weeks for them since the Cove game. I think they'll come out and they'll be ready to go make a statement a little bit. And likewise Bonnyrigg, they're obviously going to be pretty frustrated. They're going to be pretty tired as well. The guys must be exhausted. They've been in every cup going. So this is their final one. It's a biggie for them as well because they're going up against the Lowland League champs. So I think it's going to be a cracking game and I think it's a brilliant end to the season. Like, you couldn't ask for a better two teams to be facing off against each other.
Absolutely. I think the biggest worry is obviously I hope the guys aren't too deflated. Obviously East Kilbride, not getting promotion to League 2, and then Bonnyrigg not getting promotion to the Lowland League, so it should be an interesting fixture in that sense as well. But I'm sure the guys will be G'd up for it, and I'm sure it will be a really good game. I'm hoping to get to it, as I said to you, but I'm not actually 100% sure if I will. I think you're going, and Derek, I'm assuming he'll try and get there depending on the misses, obviously.
Yeah, I'm running the Edinburgh Half Marathon in the morning, so if all goes well and I can get through that without ending up in hospital, I will 100% be going along to that afterwards. Probably one of the few games I think I might take a seat to watch, but yeah, and as for the teams being deflated, I think, again, these are, they're professionals, they're grown men. I think you can see it all over social media how frustrated both sets of players and fans were after the outcomes of the games or the SFA's decision. But these guys, they'll have their game heats back on, and I think they'll put in a performance for their own fans and the neutrals like you and I.
Yep, definitely. So we'll move on to plugs. Since Mozza's not here, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter. It's not too interesting, to be honest, but at Sped and Sean. But I also run the Facebook page for the Lowland League Catchup, where I try to sort of centralise everything that the teams are putting out there. So it's well worth giving us a follow, and it's a good platform as well to interact with other fans, I suppose, of different teams. What about yourself?
Yeah, it's at Rampant FM on Twitter, and the official catch-up is at official catch-up on Twitter also. We're probably not going to be doing too many episodes. I think next week might be our last one, actually. We're going to probably be reviewing the season, see which, where teams have went wrong in our opinions, obviously, where the successes have been, where the failures have been. It's certainly going to be an interesting one to do. But we'll go through every team, and obviously we'll have a wee preview for next season and our opinions on maybe where we see the teams going next season. But obviously it's been fantastic this season. The sport's been unreal from the boys, the league, people like George Fraser. We obviously want to thank everyone that listens. We do appreciate it, and obviously I think the followings, it's just went mental the last few weeks. As I mentioned, some of the Berwick Rangers guys getting on board as well, so we really appreciate that. Hopefully we can have, I think with Berwick, hopefully they'll experience something similar to Shire. I think it's not all doom and gloom in terms of coming down to this league. I think if you're in a hard position in league football and maybe you're losing games almost every week or whatever, you come to a league that you're actually perhaps maybe winning games or going for cups and titles or whatever, it's a better feeling, so hopefully Berwick can experience that, and some of their fans will get a wee bit of joy. And obviously we've got a lot of work to do. We're planning different things for next season as well, so it should, overall next season, I can't wait, similar to yourself, Sean.
Yeah, no, I think we'll definitely do a preview and a review of the last season, and there's a few teams in the league, so they might actually go for a couple of podcasts, but outside of that, well, obviously we spoke about the pre-season games, so we'll be trying to get along to them, and if we can catch a word or two with any of the players, managers, maybe even a couple of the supporters, we'll certainly share that on social media as well. So although we might go a bit quiet with the podcast, I think we'll still be quite active on social media, because it's going to be an exciting lead up to the new season.
So that brings an end to this episode. Speak to you soon. Hopefully Mozza will be back. Hopefully we can get maybe Kev on next week. We'll be back for the review. We'll probably go through the Lowland League team of the year. Obviously that's getting done now. We've obviously done ours. A lot of Stirling Union Spartans guys. It looks like there's going to be a lot of Shire guys in the Lowland League Team of the Year. So it's up to the people to vote, I guess.
Loads of recognition, and it's been fantastic, the recognition at the end of the season.
Absolutely. I think a lot of the boys that have been mentioned obviously deserve a wee shout out. It will be back next week. I'll see you soon.
Catch you later.